bro?
Oh, I'm fucking ready, Poppy.
This is intense. We're usually taking this video clip getting into a sports car.
Yeah, no,
This
I have
time,
to climb up, hold up.
we're getting into an adventure machine. Alright. Oh shit, we are going to be late to our own event. Okay.
I feel like
This is the start of the Custom Shop, Escape New York. Escape New York is an overland trip put together through the Custom Shop. A trip to the border of Canada in New Hampshire. And the idea was to travel from that border from north all the way south, predominantly off-road. So the idea was that we would take, which turned out to be 17 vehicles, all Custom Shop clients. So all these customers, clients, were here at the shop, built their vehicle up for expedition and overland and adventure. And you know, we said, hey, let's get everybody together and put these trucks to use and have a good time. The premise and the name Escape New York was just that. We were escaping New York. You know, when you go through that whole winter session in New York and it's like super long and you wait for the summer and you can't wait for the warm weather, and there's that like feeling of like I need to break the mold, I need to break the Groundhog Day, I gotta break the norm of this like cold, monotonous, gray, you know, 6-7 months out of the year. That's what makes New York summer so special, because you gotta earn it, you know. So when the weather started getting warmer, I was like, you know what, let's plan an event for that time. So you kind of like break out of your shell and then you head out. And it was, I believe, a 4-day event, 3 nights.
Well, if you count the morning of at the beach, that would technically be the 5th day.
Okay, so 4 nights, 5 days. Mm-hmm. The idea would be to start in Pittsburgh, New Hampshire, which is right at the border of Canada, work our way down, get all through New Hampshire over the next 4 days, and then that would bring us on a nice route all the way back to New York, and the last day we would camp out on the beach in Long Island.
Day 1 for us was essentially, there wasn't any spice there to say. We was really
driving
over.
It was like, gotta get there, right? I mean, that's from here to where we're going was like almost 400 miles. So there wasn't much for exploring that day. It was more like the mission was to get to the north, to begin coming south. Yeah, that was the idea. Yeah.
And then when we got to the campsite, we got some news. So you want to go over that a little bit?
Yeah, so that time of year is mud season, right? So all these areas up there in the northeast, whether it be New Hampshire, Maine, Vermont, you know, on a lot of these back roads, trails, these trails, I should say, unmaintained roads, because these are legal roads we're traveling on. So basically, everything's mud. So if you're not on a paved road, it's mud. And what they do is they close a lot of these roads down because, you know, locals and people like that are not trying to deal with that, and I totally get it. So we were right on the cusp of those gates kind of being opened to all of these, you know, unmaintained roads. And it was just a late mud season. And that first night when we pulled up to the campsite, we spoke to the gentleman who owned the campsite. It was a beautiful campsite, absolutely gorgeous. But anyway, we spoke to the owner, and he was like, yeah, right now it's mud season, you're not going to really find much open. And I'm very familiar with a lot of those roads up there because I've done this trip a few times before, or this route, I should say. And yeah, I had mentioned those roads to him, and he said, listen, you're not going to really have much luck going down. So that kind of hit me like really hard at that point, man. I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, dude, I just pulled, you know, 17 vehicles, which has got to be 25, 30 people or something, right? Because, you know, people had people with them. And I brought all these guys and all these ladies, and everyone trusted me and said, you know what, yeah, I'll follow you, Brett. I'll follow you to the end of the fucking earth, man. And I brought them somewhere where we can't do what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, that was the rough news I got day 1. That was the rough news.
Then day 2 rolls around, and then that essentially consisted of
exploring. Yeah. Right, just traveling around. Now the group was just so positive, man. Everybody saw like that I was kind of bummed out about this, and I had to break the news to everybody and say, listen, like this might go a little different than what we planned, and the itinerary was kind of out the window at that point, you know. And but a lot of people, they were just like, listen, everybody was, no one was negative about this. Everybody was just like going for it, and they were like, listen, this is what overlanding is a lot of times. Sometimes you will drive and you will get to that block off, and you're gonna have to figure it out. And that's where the camaraderie comes into play, and that's where just, you know, this guy who's great with mapping, and then this guy who's great with, you know, navigate, whatever it may be, like we all kind of come together and put our superpowers and figure it out. So that's what we did. But the second day, you know, we used a lot of like off-road mapping, you know, through GPS, our phones and stuff, to try out different routes, things that were off of the route that we were initially supposed to go through. Maybe we would get lucky, maybe we'd get a couple of miles on some nice dirt road, get a couple of obstacles, river crossing, something. But nah, man, like we would go maybe a mile, half a mile down a road, and boom, gate. But yeah, so that, yeah, we did some exploring that day. And I think we just, like midday, we're just like, listen, fuck it, like let's just keep moving towards the next campsite. And then at least we'll get to camp, we can still set up our tents, cook, have a good time. And that's what we did. So we went to our second campsite after exploring most of the day and finding little things here and there, but nothing substantial. And yeah, that was pretty much day 2.
Chef Vic.
Yeah, Vicky Ray.
Vicky Ray.
Vicky Ray.
Oh, and it's stored out. All right, good.
Dude, let me do this, please?
Oh, but I was doing a showcase.
Oh, sorry.
I was doing a showcase.
For the people.
You always gotta slap it like that.
Do you?
All right, Andy, take over.
That was it. That's his segment.
That was it.
That was his whole segment.
You know. Toma.
Somebody gotta handle your meat?
That's nice.
Come on, man.
I was here for a minute.
The fucking guy's gonna be taking 2 shots of fucking Presilla.
You pulled up on
Give the people a translation for the non-Spanish speakers here.
Oh, it's like mezcal, but better.
Why did you throw the ill
Or you
white
know.
girl, like legally blonde, on there,
And with
bro?
the
Oh, light skin face? Oh. Oh.
Kucharinsky.
Oh.
Watch out.
Which one?
Yo,
He just smacked this up.
yo, big shout out to TNF Pork Store, Franklin Square, in business over 50 years. Johnny Pork blessed
always comes
this
through.
trip with all this food. So big shout out to Johnny Pork.
Day 3 turned around for us, right?
Yeah. So at the end of day 2, our boy Tom came through,
Bronco Tom.
searching around on Facebook,
Yeah.
found the what was the name of the
Mountain Mud Run. Shout out to our boys at Mountain Mud Run in New Hampshire. Yeah, we woke up the 3rd day and Tom came up and he was like, listen, man, he was like, I found this spot. It's in New Hampshire. It's basically private land. You can rent out some time there and you could run for acres on all these different trails that are mapped out in different difficulties. So you know, we came to do some off-roading and some wheeling, so that sounded great. Yeah, so the plan was we huddled together, we powwowed everyone, and we said, listen, we're going to try this place out and try to save the trip and get off-road and do some wheeling.
Give fucking update, Poppy Chulo. Update.
We, you know, we've been dealing with a lot of these road closures.
Probably gonna wait for that.
The compressor at the shop. We've been, and then we finally, can't believe this guy John. He's absolutely amazing.
And we'll see you after this.
No. But yeah, no. Long story short, we our buddy Tom with the Bronco did some Googling. He found this off-road park. Long story short, the owner wasn't home. We kind of just powwowed on his front lawn, and he showed up. It's that small town kind of deal right there, you know. So it was a really nice story. So we're out here. We're gonna hit some trails. This is a spot that they do a lot of rock crawling and rock bouncing competitions. So this stuff is really extreme here. But we have a trail map, you know, with different difficulties of the trails, and we're gonna just do what we can. A lot of these rigs are really capable. So we're gonna see what they can do, but I'm super happy to get off pavement, super happy to get everybody off-road. Shout out to Tom for finding the spot, man, and shout out to John, the owner, and then shout out to Gary. Gary was a local who drove by while we were powwowing, and he told us that he was responsible for actually excavating a lot of these trails here. So he said, just hang out, the owner should be coming back, and sure enough, he did, so we're very lucky, you know, but I'm excited, man. I hope we get some good footy out there and see these trucks doing their thing, and I'm just really happy to give the crew a little more adrenaline, something a little more exciting than just cruising the back roads, you know. I'm gonna air these tires down and we'll hit the trail.
Oh, don't swat the Jeep guys, bro.
Damn.
They have it easy, bro. They have the fucking solid.
Damn, you anti-Jeep out here?
No, don't put me on video saying that.
Bro, the Mike already heard it.
Everybody on. I do not do anything.
Damn, you're that guy?
I do not do a single thing.
You're gonna scumbag everybody else but not do shit.
Oh yeah, no. I know.
So you're fine with this being on camera as who you are as a person?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, all right. Okay, I respect it.
I tell everybody else to break their shit. Well, I'll come pick you up in the parking lot. I'll come tow your hunk of junk home.
I love it.
I was trying to scumbag him a little bit, but he didn't want to.
I don't fold, baby.
He's comfortable with
Right,
himself.
motherfucking. I fucking camera boy. I don't fold in the camera boy.
Oh, back up for a sec. Andy, give us an update on what we're doing out here, Poppy.
Well, his tire is about to get cut by this little tree trunk sticking out, so we're trying to cut it out.
All right.
So it's a good workout. Come over here. No, I'm facing downwards. What's up?
Oh, we got the steak kebabs, complimentary to TNF Bookstore, right here.
I felt it without
What else is on the menu tonight?
Rain.
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 We're gonna have PF Chang. One of the guys are coming down from PF Chang. He's gonna do a little show.
You mean Johan?
Johan.
Oh.
Oh, dale huevo.
Where's my pocket?
Don't smoke. Tell you right now. What the? Oh, make space!
I didn't have a home.
Hold up.
You are my home. You're in my bones. Obadiah Jones. You are my home. You're in my bones. They call me Mrs. Jones. They might as well dig a hole for me too. Without him, what will I do? We lay together for decades, and he never left my side.